gonna deal with what we got. Hi, excuse the hair. I just got out of the shower. I know I've been gone for a hot minute now. I actually have notes for this video. Give me 1 second. Focus, focus. Cool. Hey, so it has been a while since I've uploaded to this channel. The biggest reason, okay, and this is probably going to be the only reason I'm going to be giving, is that it was hot. Okay, it was the summer. Me and the heat just do not work well together. It gets really hot in my room as well because my PC likes to suck up all the cold air and then spit out hot air, thus making my room into a hellscape. I usually just try to edit as much as I can. I did color grading on every single one of my projects that I did over the summer. I just haven't really just sat there and edited it together. So that's kind of where those are. They're on my computer. We're almost done, and eventually you guys will see it on this channel. So with that out of the way, let's talk about what have I been doing over the summer. I would say that I've done more over this summer than I have in the past summers. I traveled a lot more. I was pretty happy with the footage that I got. I'm still in the process of trying to find my own style that I want to make, but I think I'm slowly progressing towards that goal. It's just gonna take a little bit more, you know, going out and just filming and just stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit more. To start off the summer, I actually went to Hawaii, which was not planned at all. I was kind of just hoping to just stay at home, and my biggest trip was actually the LA trip, which I'll talk about later. My brother actually came up to me one day, "Do you want to go to Hawaii? How can you say no to an opportunity like that?" I think one of my biggest goals for this year is kind of just not saying no to any opportunity that comes my way. And honestly, it was a really, really good time. Hawaii wasn't really a destination that I wanted to go to. It wasn't on my bucket list, or it wasn't even on my radar prior to that moment. The opportunity came up. I was just like, okay, why not? You know, the reason that we were going to Hawaii was actually for a dog show, and we went over there, and that was on the third day. But the 2 days prior to that, we actually stayed with my brother's friend's uncle, if that makes sense. We actually stayed in Pearl City, you know, the military is, where Pearl Harbor is, and all these, like, you know, military stuff are. And I got to really, you know, explore the area, kind of see what Hawaii was all about. And we basically traveled pretty much everything that you need to travel in Hawaii for. If I had the opportunity to go back anytime soon, I probably would. It's probably one of my favorite vacation spots, especially since it is technically a domestic flight for Americans. Pretty cool. It reminds me of the Philippines. The next thing I did over the summer, it was like literally the week after Hawaii. Me and my friend Lai, who I do the Luciente Films business with, we actually had a debut after I came back from Hawaii. For those of you who don't know what a debut is, basically it's just a quinceañera but for Filipinos, and instead of it being for 15-year-olds, it's for 18-year-olds. But that's besides the point. So we did this debut. The client actually wanted to do their photo shoot the day of the event. So basically, because she was getting her makeup done, her hair done, and got the dress, she was like, okay, let's just do it the same day so we don't have to do this later on. So we were like, all right, cool. Perfect. Come to find out, the one day that she picked, well, I don't know if it was her actual birthday on that day. Anyways, the day that the event landed on was one of the hottest days. It was 115 degrees outside, and when I shot, it was actually overexposed. All of my shots were overexposed. And yeah, it was a mess for the most part, but once we got to the venue, still really, really hot. I managed to save it. Came out pretty good, in my opinion. I got a couple of nice shots. Could I have done better? Probably. There's nothing you can do. Those are kind of one of those things where it's out of my hands at that point. It was just really hot, really bad conditions. I had fun. It was a good learning experience, and would I do it again? Hell no, but it was fun nonetheless. Fast forward to August, I went to my LA trip, which I was talking about earlier. So basically what my LA trip was, my friend Michael, or Sugi, you guys could probably check him out on his YouTube page right here, or I'll put it down in the description or whatever. He was planning on going to KCON. He didn't really have anyone else to go with, so I volunteered myself. I decided to drive straight down to LA, about like a 5-hour drive, and come to find out that that weekend of KCON was actually the first time in California's history in a while that a Category 1 hurricane was going to land. I didn't actually find out about that until I was already in LA, and one of my friends texted me. You know, we already had things planned, so you kind of just have to go with the flow at that point. So day one was cool. Day two was even better. I'll throw in some clips here and there. But day three was the day of the convention. Like I said, this was the day that the hurricane was making landfall in LA. We were kind of iffy at first. When we checked outside, it wasn't too bad. It's just really heavy rain, and every now and then we got a flood warning, but it's LA. We weren't really too worried about it. Kind of just went through the day by ear. I think we ended up getting breakfast or brunch. Went to go pick up the tickets from the person who was selling us the tickets, and we ended up getting 10 tickets for free and not having to pay for any of the tickets, which is cool. Shout out to that person. And then we asked a couple of our friends who lived in LA. So the convention was near the crypto arena. They'll have the convention where everyone does convention things, pop-up shops, whatever. And then afterwards, there's this big concert with all the K-pop artists. I think the main act was Stray Kids, which up until this point, I did not know how big they were and how loud their fans could get. So we go over from the convention center to the crypto arena, and then we had to stand outside in the hurricane for about 15 minutes until we realized that we didn't actually have to stand in line. So what we did was we just went over to one of the restaurants around the corner from the crypto arena, got some dinner, and then headed back when there was no line, and then enjoyed the concert. It was pretty fun. I wasn't really into K-pop until that moment. We had a crazy night that night. Can't really talk about it. Afterwards, I went home and here I am. Fast forward to now. All right. Hello, sorry about that. My camera died literally as I was recording that. What was I saying? So what's next for the channel? I do have a couple of trips coming up. The biggest one is in 10 days actually, which is funny enough. I'm actually going to the Philippines with Lai, who I previously mentioned, and we're gonna be doing our little vacation thing. The cool thing about it is that the debut actually paid for this trip, so shout out to them. And we're gonna have a lot of footage from that, hopefully. And hopefully I could get it done in a, what's the word I'm looking for? I could get it done pretty fast by the time I get back. Hopefully. I will also get everything else up, obviously. But main thing is the Philippines. And also, check it out. I went over to my friend Robert and I actually borrowed one of his film cameras. And so I'm going to slowly start getting into film. Maybe upload a couple of things for that. Actually went through my first roll of film today, which is pretty cool, and we're going to see how those come out. Maybe I'll throw it in the video if the footage, if I get it developed in time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the entire update. I have a couple more trips planned, but it's not set in stone. I have something in the beginning of November, and then obviously you have the holidays. I do have a lot of things planned starting from now up until the end of the year. And hopefully by next year, I'll be in the groove of things and actually start uploading at a more consistent rate, because that's what I was planning on doing at the beginning of the year, but I ended up just slacking and dying of a heat stroke. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys want to leave a like, please leave a like. And if you want to stay tuned for more, hit a subscribe button. Yeah, I gotta work on my outros. All right, later.